Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes on Tuesday, the 14th of August, here on Share Talk. Starting off with the stock which is new to the Bulletin Board's video, Afritin Mining, where you can see that there's just this push through the main resistance of the last couple of months at 3.5 pence. Looking for a top of 2017 channel target towards 5.5 pence. And we're optimistic about the stock just largely because post-April new support came in at or above former resistance at the 2.5 pence level. Stop loss on the whole idea around the 50-day moving average level at 3.04 pence. An old hand at the Bulletin Board Heroes comes in the form of Edenville Energy. Here we've got the wedge break to the upside that happened in July. Sideways shuffle since then, but the shares are showing that they've got some momentum here with the unfilled gap to the upside today up through the 50-day moving average at 0.29, and while we're above that, looking for at least a retest of the 200-day moving average at 0.43 pence. Next stock up on the turntable is Kellan Grp, where we've had that push to the upside in May, taking up the slack since then, but pushing back above the 50-day moving average today to 0.81, and that suggests that we're going to have a retest, partial or full retest of the best levels of the year to date at 1.8 pence. Stop loss at this stage probably back below the 200-day line at 0.75. Minds and Machines, thought about this a bit this morning, didn't know whether to leave it or not, but looks as though we've got an extended base turnaround here. We had the exhaustion gap reversal in June, a sideways shuffle along the 50-day moving average, and now we seem to be getting momentum with the push through the 200-day moving average today at 8.61 pence, closing above that today, and that resistance line from the beginning of the year at 9 pence looks like a falling wedge. Breakout could be on hand and could take the shares back towards 11 or 12p, which is the best levels of the past year. Next up, we're looking at Motif Bio, which seems to be creating a little bit of a splash on the bulletin boards. Gap through the 50-day and 200-day moving averages today. Obviously, we need to close around 37 pence plus to give us a decent heads up in terms of heading towards the top of this rising trend channel from April last year at 55 pence. Stop loss on the buy argument at the moment, the 50-day moving average at 32 pence. So ideally, as I said, we hold above that post-April resistance area. Break above that during this week should be enough to give us the big target there. I have covered Salvarx quite recently, can't remember exactly when, but I think the point here is, I'll look it up, the point here is that we did actually see the shares hit the top of a rather ambitious looking broadening triangle from April 2016. That was pointing to an 80 pence target. Last time I think we were talking about the shares that were in the low 40s. So the charting worked there. It was going to work anyway, really, given the gaps to the upside. There was unfilled gap to the upside there in June, and then in July we've been above the 50-day moving average for months as well. So a good charting situation on Salvarx. Hoping for equal glory with this next stock, which is Two Shields. Haven't looked at this before on the Bulletin Board Heroes, but nice falling wedge breakout there at 0.24 pence. Hopefully that will be enough to take the shares back to retest April resistance at 0.4. Stop loss back below 0.22, which is the top of that falling wedge line. Another new stock to the Bulletin Board Heroes today. To finish off with, in this case, Univision Engineering. Nice push after the exhaustion gap reversal last month, sideways shuffle here and the push higher over the last 2 or 3 sessions. Also looks as though we're in the run up to a golden cross buy signal between the 50 and 200-day moving averages. So at 4 pence target here, while we hold above, let's say 2 pence, should be on the cards there for Univision Engineering. That's it for me. More updates tomorrow.